Hey, it's Rochelle here from thephotographersociety.com, and in this week's episode we're going to talk about how to hire someone in your photography business even though you are just starting out. Okay, so are you ready to hire someone even though it's a few hours a week, or someone just to get rid of those admin tasks that you hate doing or dread doing? So this is a sign that you're growing. So if you feel like there's too much on your plate to do, or you say to yourself, I could be doing something else instead of writing all these emails back and forth to these clients, then that means you're starting to grow. And in order to grow your business, you need help because you can't always be busy. To me, and I always say this, busy equals broke. So even though you're still low on income and you can't afford it, just set out some little bit, of hours that you can maybe hire a VA. But we'll talk more about that inside this episode. Okay, so when we decide to hire out someone to help us to grow our business, a lot of questions start popping up when we want to go hire people. And I think a lot of us fall into the trap of being scared to do so. So it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be scary or frightening or confusing. It really is simple, and this is what this episode is all about. I want to simplify it so you can go out and start looking for someone to helping you in your business after this episode. So as I said, it doesn't have to be complicated, and it sure does not have to be so expensive, which is why we all get scared to ask or seek help. Okay, so what we're going to cover specifically is how to discover what areas you need to hire the person for, how to find the right person and where you might find this person, and what you need to do to hire them as well. Like setting procedures or being specific in their role. So let's get started. Okay, first of all, let's start off with how to discover what areas you need to hire out for. So what areas are you busy mostly in? What areas you'd rather not be doing? So if it's admin work, like when I started, it was pretty much back and forth emails, admin work, social media schedules and things like that, all that stuff that's going to be me sitting at my computer for hours. I needed someone else to do that. Now I couldn't physically hire someone to come to my office and do all that stuff for me. So the cheaper option and the best option for me was to hire a VA. Now there's a few reasons why I hired a VA. And if you don't know what a VA is, it's a virtual assistant. Someone works from their home. You can hire international virtual assistants from different areas of the world, or there's local ones as well. Now there's some virtual assistants that can only do your admin work, can't answer phone calls, and there's some that are local that can actually be your secretary and answer the phone calls, inquiries for you if that's how your business works, where you like people to actually call you rather than email you as well. So I figured out that that's what I needed to hire someone for, and then I went out and sought someone that had the experience, the knowledge with websites, with my website and things like that. So I hired a VA from a website called Upwork. So if you check out upwork.com, there is so much international people that are looking for jobs to do, and this doesn't have to be permanent as well. You can hire someone for once a week, or for casual jobs, someone that's going to do the work only when you need it. And you have to be specific on your procedures and when you need that work done. If you need someone part-time, you have to tell them that you need them part-time, and my suggestion is here to set out days and times. But if you need someone randomly, then be specific and tell them that's what you need. So as I said, you can find these VAs there's something called upwork.com, or there's fiverr.com as well. These two websites I highly recommend. I've worked with subcontractors from them, from day number one. But also look at their, profiles and their, feedback and things like that, and how well they've done work, or look at what they're trained in, what experience they have, and if it suits what you need for them to do inside your own business. Okay, so we've talked about to figure out what you need done and to hire that person for that job and where you can find them. Now I want to talk about, you know, how to actually hire someone to come inside your studio if that's what you need help with, you know, during your sessions. Now this is something I'm personally looking into this year. If we're getting someone to come in to give me a hand, to just pretty much pass me things so my sessions run even more quicker. Plus I'm looking to do more live videos throughout my sessions, so obviously I can't do that while I'm posing and shooting. I want someone to come in and be sort of my, you know, my right hand to do that whenever I need it done. So I'm looking for someone, yet at the moment I cannot afford to pay them a full-time rate to do that. So I'm looking for someone that's looking for work experience, or someone that wants a bit of a knowledge, or starting to, from a, you know, that's a hobbyist and, you know, bringing that into a business and wants to learn new things in exchange for work experience. So that's something I'm still testing the waters with, but you can do that as well. There is so much people in colleges, people that, you know, just want a few hours a week or a day that are looking for that job. And pretty much if you set your boundaries, have a contract in place, you really don't have to be paying them full-time hours. And that's always obviously negotiated between you and that person as well. Okay, so when you hire someone, there's some things you want to consider before doing so. So the first thing is actually to have set procedures and instructions in place. So I like to have a document that I always go refer back to and get them to read over. So it pretty much says my business overall and what it's set out to achieve, my goals, how I run my sessions, you know, if that's probably related to if you want to bring someone into your sessions. Whereas if you're hiring a VA, you might want to have projects and tasks for each project and when you need them done by, due dates and things like that. So when you set out and make things more simple, the job gets done more easier, and the person doing the job gets more familiar with your business and then does the tasks without having even to look at those tasks every single day. So, but in the beginning, you really need to be specific, set out in detail, step by step of how maybe you might send that email and how you want them to do the same. And maybe how the tone you talk in the email to your clients, how you want them to use that. Now, what I did when I first hired my VA, I actually wrote out the email templates. All she had to do was to copy and paste it. If there were specific questions that I used to get all the time, I'd have an FAQ sheet for her and she'd look through those questions. If it was there, she'd actually get that answer and answer replying back to that client. If it's not there, obviously she can always contact me as well. So think about ways how you can make your, you know, your life easier and that person that you've hired easier, especially when they're starting out. So I really hope you enjoyed this week's episode on how you can hire someone this year inside your business. Leave me a comment below and let me know, have you hired someone, where you hired them from, or if you have any questions about hiring someone, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments below. And if you're listening to this podcast, all you have to do is go to the blog and leave your comments below and I'd be happy to answer them. Until next time, guys, I'll see you next week for another episode. Take care.